What is happening, Magnusites? Boy, oh boy. Is it really that bad? Well, let's find out.
Ergorotic.com.
Greetings, you over 838,000 practitioners of common sense and the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. Let's talk about superhero fatigue. Again, this may come as a bit of a shock to you, so you might want to prepare yourself. Blue Beetle was a massive flop. A film that could have been an average, forgettable superhero.
Wait first, though. Remember, it's not superhero fatigue. It's woke BS politics shoved into movies fatigue. That's what it is. It's making bad woke movies fatigue. It's not exactly the superhero genre. It's the fact that they're shoving it into the superhero genre and everything else. It's more movies than just superhero movies that are flopping, but they're so popular and they put out so many of them that I understand how people can believe, well, it's superhero movie fatigue. You could argue that that's what it is because that's what they're shoving it into. I get it, but I don't think people are tired of superheroes. It's they're tired of what these movies preach.
Hero film, but thanks to its dogmatic adherence to the message, it was turned into forgettable hot garbage. I saw it last Friday, and the only thing I can remember is it's filled with representation. The third version of a DC superhero that is Latino, just in case you didn't catch it in any of the marketing. And he's up against an elderly woman and her angry pool boy in a film that feels like Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Captain Marvel, of all things, put into a blender. Did I mention it also had representation? It also happens to be the first mainstream Latino superhero film. It's also the first mainstream Latino superhero film to be the second worst opening of the entire DCEU.
So there's that. And that sucks. Here's my thing. They call Batman a superhero. Why can't we call Zorro a superhero? And I love Zorro. I have loved Zorro since I was a child. Remember the old Disney thing? Zorro! Zorro! At the end they be like, Zorro, 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 Zorro. Remember that? Love Zorro! I guess Zorro's not badass enough to be considered a superhero. Batman is because, you know, he's respected by the gods and even by people without powers. He's just that legit. But I think if Zorro was more popular, I think that they could make him an old-time superhero. You know what I mean? Just all you gotta do is up his fighting skills and the sword skills and other stuff and stealth. We can make him a superhero. He is a hero, though, nonetheless. I will love Zorro to the end of days. To the end of days. Remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger kept going around promoting End of Days? Go see my movie, End of Days.
Barely beating out Wonder Woman 84, which had a day-and-date release on then HBO. By the way, can we stop giving Gal Gadot a pass?
Imagine there's no heaven.
That is not going to be saved by the prince.
Blue Beetle's performance issues at the box office are part of a bigger problem, and it just reaffirms that superhero fatigue is here. I can hear you now. It's not superhero fatigue. It's bad movie fatigue. Something I used to believe, but not necessarily anymore, and we'll get to that.
See? And that's why I said it can be argued. Let's see what he has to say.
I guess the question we should ask is it DC or Marvel's fault? The answer is
Marvel, I think. Marvel has had more movies out where they're doing this garbage. It's got to be Marvel. He might say both. I think it's Marvel. It's Disney. Because you got the Star Wars movies. You got all the Marvel movies. Yeah.
Yes, but mostly it was the MCU that killed the superhero stuff.
Told you.
Don't believe me? Let's go to the veteran director of the Marvels, Nia DaCosta, who might have been unintentionally too honest, especially for a Disney Marvel director, when she pointed out that superhero fatigue is here, all while completely missing the point as to why it's here. I'm also going to shock you a second time, so again, prepare yourself. Nia DaCosta, the director of the Marvels, also stated that story is more important than representation.
What did you say?
Oh yeah, even the Marvels admits superhero fatigue is real, but misses the point entirely. That she does. The Marvels is one of the upcoming movies set in the MCU, and while no one else does, its director Nia DaCosta, who had to delete her Twitter account when she got the gig for colorful tweets.
People?
Nia admits that superhero fatigue is a real issue. First of all, it kind of means that things are quite bad when a Marvel director says this. Second of all, right after that, DaCosta completely misses the point just like others. So let's hear it. I think superhero fatigue absolutely exists. The biggest difference from the MCU movies to date is that the Marvels is really wacky and silly. Tell me you haven't watched any previous Marvel films without telling me you haven't watched any previous Marvel films.
I was like, what?
The worlds we go to in this movie are worlds unlike others you've seen in the MCU. Bright worlds that you haven't seen before. Really? Then she dropped this bomb. In terms of women-led films and women as superheroes in particular and excitement around that, I think it's really just about whether or not the movie's good. A keen insight into the room temperature IQ brain trust at Disney Marvel. I know it's hard to believe Disney repeating the same mistakes as Marvel Comics would end with the same results.
Weird.
Radically altering, subverting, perverting, and outright replacing characters with decades of development. All to sacrifice our beloved superheroes, our beloved storylines, our beloved Marvel and DC comics on the altar of agenda to the gods of the message. Prioritizing identity politics over good storytelling, the customers, and profits has crushed the comic industry. Doing the same in the MCU destroyed a money-printing franchise that has sucked the life out of the film industry and brought Hollywood to its knees.
Bravo! Bravo, sir!
Now, I've heard whispers from inside of Disney Marvel that they realize they went a bit too far and they're starting to wonder what went wrong.
Really? It's taking you this long to realize you've gone too far. Oh my God, I can't believe it's taken this long. I'm speechless. Let me just continue because I have to gather my thoughts.
Aside from referring to thousands of videos on this platform, quite a few in my library, or giving a detailed list of all the films and Disney Plus shows they have released since Endgame, considering their attention span, I just think it's better to show, not tell.
I had to follow Jonathan Majors, the most charismatic man alive.
Let's talk about that diversity and the representation.
Here we go again.
We have 7 languages in this film. Oh my God. Amazing. Get ready, people.
The diversity of such a diverse team.
Diverse, different
Diversity.
For so long, we've seen superheroes that have looked like a small percentage of the world.
I wasn't super into superhero comics when I was a kid. I read a lot of like indie press stuff.
Different.
We have a lot of representation.
Diverse.
To feel represented.
So many people now feel so included in the MCU.
El niño sin amor. Por eso le dicen Namor.
¿En serio?
El niño que creció sin amor. Namor.
We always say that it's part of our growth and our global success.
Now I've got to give credit where credit is due. It takes perseverance, determination, and just plain hard work to fail this badly. Now back to the Marvel's director, Nia DaCosta. It turns out maybe some of those whispers are telling the truth based on what she said. Will Captain Marvel 3 happen? MCU director addresses future prospects. In the latest issue of Total Film magazine, Nia DaCosta spoke about the possibility of more Captain Marvel adventures beyond the Marvels. I'll pitch Kevin 17 versions of what can happen to all these women and why and how, and that is that. And he's like, okay girl, and sometimes I think I really got a movie going after this. And then other times I'm like, oh, they have this whole other plan that I'm not a part of. Welcome to Hollywood, Nia DaCosta, where you have been cast as a director and not hired. And yes, it's the latter. They're working on a whole other plan that you're not a part of. And I'm not entirely sure if Brie Larson is part of their plans, and neither is she.
I don't know, does anyone want me to do it again?
As I've said from day one, the Marvels is doomed. But to be fair, so is the MCU and superhero films. What makes me say that? Well,
the problem is the only thing that's keeping me seeing these movies and these television shows is the fact that I review them. And a smidge of hope. Otherwise, I wouldn't be watching them. And that's sad. That's sad. You know what I mean? Like, if you think about it, I started out as a wrestling talk channel. And I've morphed into what you see today. But WWE was able to do so bad that I literally don't watch them anymore. I'm wondering if it'll ever get that way with the superhero genre. You know? Or just with movies today, period. Like, you know what I mean? I hope not. I absolutely hope not. I'll have to go back and just start reviewing all of the cool older movies that I've never seen. I'm gonna start like from the 60s and 70s. It was turned morph into a retro movie entertainment channel. We're gonna go through, and this might be actually a good idea. I think about it. There's some ideas coming to mind here. All right, let's keep going here. But yeah, they're pushing me away that hard. They really are. It's like I said, it's, you know, I feel like I'm the parent of a bad kid. And I'm going up to the school and the principal tells me come in the office. I sit down, close the door. I'm like, all right, what's he done this time? Jeez. God. How many times have I told you, Disney? You shut up, WB. I'm going to get to you in a second. How many times have I told you to stop doing that? How many times do you have to lose for you to understand? Do you like disappointing me? Do you? You shut up, principal. Because, no, I'm not going to cause him to need therapy. He's causing me to need therapy. We're both going to need therapy. Do you understand that? Shut up, WB. I'll get to you in a second. Listen, you keep doing it. I'm not coming up here the next time. You and the principal going to talk it out yourselves. You get expelled and all that. It's your fault. That's it. That's right. And you just following after him. Little brother after big brother. Same old stuff. Can't you see that he's failing doing what he's doing? Detention after detention after detention. Me called up here all the time. It's the same stuff. Do you really think he's cool? Oh yeah, when he first started out, he was doing great. Then he went to a plan that we all told him not to do. He swore it was going to work, didn't he? How many years did he do it for? Yeah. You'd think he would have quit after a few months seeing how the reception of people, right? Oh no, you gotta keep on going though, don't you? I'm done with the both of you. Principal, don't call me up here no more. I've been told them both. Expel them, do what you gotta do, suspend them, I don't care. Call the cops to handle them, because I'm not doing it no more. Thank you.
Let's see what's to come. From Sony Marvel, Kraven, a villain that everyone would love to see in a Spider-Man movie and no one wants to see in a solo film. Then there's Season 2 of Loki, a show that completely destroyed the Marvel Cinematic Universe, destroyed the character of Loki while replacing him with a female version of himself that he then falls in love with and turned the Infinity Stones into paperweights. Then there's the release date I've had circled on my calendar multiple times because of all the delays. The Marvels, formerly Captain Marvel 2, which is no longer a direct sequel to Captain Marvel because its titular character was demoted in her own sequel. Now it's a direct sequel to 3 shows you didn't watch. WandaVision and the 2 lowest rated shows on the D+ platform, Miss Marvel and Secret Invasion. There's no Brie Larson simp out there that can equal my enthusiasm for this film. It's going to be YouTube Christmas. Following that, on D+, there's Echo.
Yeah, and they know it. They watch us. They know. And then they know how I feel as a fan. You know, I'm a fan that is a fan that loves them and just wants them to do better. That's it. I'm not a fan that hates them. I don't hate them. I've partnered with them before. I've done brand deals before with them. I don't have, you know, that type of seething hatred for them. Now, I know there are people that do on YouTube and on Twitter and everywhere else. I don't. I just want to see them do better so that we can all be happy again.
Oh, now I know not too many people have heard about this one. A show that ticks every box for comic book fans. No, not high-stakes action and adventure. The female lead is an indigenous amputee who's deaf. A show Disney Marvel felt so strongly about after multiple reshoots that they tried to can it and couldn't. So instead, they're dropping it all at once on D+ to give it a leg up. And beyond that, sometime in 2024, there's Captain America 4, a movie without Captain America. And if that doesn't get you excited, this will. Agatha, the Coven of Chaos, formerly the Agatha Harkness Show, which will probably be about the patriarchy keeping some women down and Agatha rising as the misunderstood female antagonist that she is. Except after watching WandaVision, I can make an argument that she's the misunderstood female protagonist of that series. And following that, Tony Stark's replacement, Ironheart.
You need to be conscious of the way that you look. Walking around here with that ash on your head. Oh, it's funny.
That was corny too, because her head is not even ashy. And the way they have her or direct her to play this character is not good. It's not. You know, just as a black person, it feels like she's a black person that doesn't know exactly how to portray someone that is street yet smart all at the same time, which is what they're going for. There's several actors out there that do that sometimes. It's like, yeah. To people that don't know, that truly don't know the authenticity of knowing a person like that, they can't see it. They're like, oh, it's so gripping, it's so different. Wow, I never saw them portray a character with such authenticity. No, it's not as authentic as you might think, but yeah, her Samish / Mega Man out, that was terrible.
I'm sure that'll get them running to the movie theaters and D+, and that's just the stuff we know they've already shot. Then down the line, there's the Thunderbolts, led by the 5'0" Florence Pugh as Black Widow. Also featuring Ghost, the misunderstood female antagonist from The Wasp and Ant-Man. Who? You know, Ghost from The Wasp and Ant-Man.
No, not ringing any bells.
Okay, if that doesn't work, how about the Armor Wars, a classic Iron Man storyline from the comics without Iron Man? Instead, you get Rhodey, who's been impersonated by a female Skrull since Civil War.
Doesn't that suck? That really sucks. Couldn't you have it be after? Hey Disney, why don't you listen to me. Write it in so that we're fooled, so that Rhodey became a Skrull after Endgame. Because that totally, absolutely cheapens and takes the weight out of when Tony passes away in Endgame. And the reaction and how things are done. Totally. It's horrible.
Not a great plan. Sure, there's Deadpool 3, which unfortunately had to stop shooting due to the strike and will probably be delayed until 2025. And
I know people were saying, why are his arms covered? He probably doesn't want to work out the way he had to last time. He's played this character so long, I could see him being irritated by it. That's what I personally think it is. But I think it looks good either way, personally.
I would like to remind everyone that it's being made by Disney Marvel. But at least we could say at one time Marvel was pretty damn good, and that can't be said about DC, who, after their 4th abysmal flop in a row, still have one more to go. And Aquaman 2 will become the very first box office plop. So, back to the question of superhero fatigue. Well, there's no question. It's here. A key indicator of superhero fatigue is a film that's pretty well received, That doesn't do well. I didn't like Blue Beetle, but a lot of people did, and it's a massive flop. I think a better example of a film that was well received that underperformed due to its massive budget is The Batman. Again, a lot of people liked it.
8 out of 10. I think this is 8 out of 10 movie.
Doesn't change the fact that they spent $200 million on this movie and were expecting $1 billion and didn't even get close, which contributed to Warner Brothers deciding to reboot the DCEU. On the Marvel side, there's Guardians 3, which did really well, but not as well as Guardians 2. Since Endgame was released, there has been 20 films released in theaters for Marvel and DC, and only 3 have hit $1 billion, and none of them were released by Disney. Add to that 8 abysmal shows Disney Marvel has released on D+, and a pretty good argument.
Ooh, that's a lot of weight there, Roddick. That is a lot of weight there. Wow. Are you serious? I did not know that. Oh, that hurts my heart. However, it's very enlightening, and it gives me hope that it's kind of like, okay, guys, see, you can't even hit $1 billion no more. See what you're doing? See what's going on? You want to hit $1 billion again? Want to make more money? Okay. All right, start pleasing everybody again. Okay, at least 99% of the fans. Start pleasing 99% of the fans again. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Be made that superhero fatigue is indeed here. What brought it on? Too many bad films. And now the director of the Marvels has openly admitted it, and that was after late last year Bob Iger saying that Disney Marvel needs to focus on quality over quantity. You don't say. And now the end is near.
Hey, to tell you the truth, you only need to focus on quality. That's it. We would have been in a smorgasbord, a buffet of superhero greatness if you all just focused on the story quality, the character quality, the CGI quality. It may have been a little bit less because people wouldn't have been overworked, but we may have gotten nearly as much quantity. But if you had focused on quality and not the woke BS politics, holy-ish, you'd be rolling in money, and we'd be rolling in superhero happiness. That's what would be going on, and quality. I can't remember the last time I bought a Marvel movie. What was the last one I bought? I think it was Endgame. I think the last Marvel movie I bought was Endgame. This is horrible.
And the MCU is about to face its final curtain. Unfortunately, it's taking the rest of the superheroes with them. If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like what you heard, I thank you for listening this long. I will see you in the next video.
Man, Roddick, man.
Marvel and DC.
Wow. Wow. The Batman 765. Okay. Roddick, great video. Get over there and subscribe. You know, half of y'all that watch me are not subscribed, okay? I notice a lot of channels ask all the time. They give you those numbers and let you know. My numbers are like similar to his, I noticed. Like I don't know, like 40-something% of you are not subscribed. If you all just subscribe, I'll hit that 2 million today. I'm this close. So, yeah, it is what it is. I thought this was a great video, man. Y'all got all my opinions. You know what I'm thinking. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you not agree? Like I said, subscribe to Neurotic. Tell them Tyrone Magnus sent you, and I'll see y'all in the next one. 10 million subscribers. Woo!